Outstanding. Welcome to episode 4 of Sip and Share. This morning I have Carrie Mosher from the OutPost this morning to talk about her business, and I'm really excited about that. You've been in the community for how long now?
About 20 years.
20 years. See, I was trying to figure that out this morning. I was talking with Betsy because I bought a Patagonia jacket from you before my son was born, and he's 15, so we couldn't quite remember when you came into town. I still wear that jacket. It's a winter jacket. It's awesome. We love Patagonia, so I'm glad that you sell that product down there. It's absolutely fantastic. In fact, I just got a couple pairs of Cool pants. Cool. That's what they're called. Because all the moving and shaking I do down here in the store, those are fantastic. I'm not wearing them today because I'm all in black and those pants are black, and I didn't want to look like Johnny Cash. But first thing this morning, we're going to try some Turn Me Riesling. This is a German Riesling. Do you like Rieslings?
I'm not. No.
You don't like Rieslings? Okay. Well, I pulled this because
unless it's dry.
We're going to find out.
Okay.
Because I don't know if it's dry or not. I don't currently carry it in the store. I do try to carry a lot of German Rieslings because Germany is known for their Rieslings. This should be a little dry. If it's not, then it's going to be very silky, smooth, fruit forward, and I feel like that's where it's going to be. It's going to be sweet, just because I know the price point is going to be under $15, so it's not going to be something that a true Riesling fan is going to enjoy. I don't want to talk it down, but if it's under 15 bucks, it's probably something I'm going to carry, and it's going to be for somebody that wants a sweeter wine. So let's give her a shot this morning, and be honest and tell me what you think. And I'll do the same. Cheers.
Cheers.
It's not too dry.
It's not as sweet as I thought it was going to be, though. It's
apple.
pretty good.
I taste a little apple and some grapefruit. I think this is definitely a wine. If somebody walked in the door and said they want a sweet wine, even though that it's not sweet, I might turn them towards this if they wanted a Riesling, especially somebody who doesn't drink a whole lot of wine. This would be something that they probably wouldn't be turned off by.
I agree. I think it kind of tastes like a starter Riesling wine.
That's a perfect example of this. So if somebody's trying to get in the Riesling, that's probably the direction I'd put them in.
Yeah. Thank
very
you.
Fruit forward. You're welcome. Fruit forward. Not too sweet. A little bit drier than I thought it was going to be. So for under 15 bucks, keep a lookout for this at Manistee Beverage. So let's get to talking about you and the Outpost. And so 20 years ago, you decided to come to Manistee. Was it for the Outpost?
It was, yes. My husband and I grew up in Holland, and his parents are in the outdoor industry. They've been almost 40 years now that they've been in the industry. And Kyle had some friends here, and he came to visit and fell in love with the downtown and the charm and the Victorian buildings, and thought, wow, what a cool place. We should open a store here. So that's what we did. We packed up our stuff, and at 20 years old, and bought a house and opened a store.
Wow. I mean, that was a leap of faith, I would
Definitely.
say. I mean, obviously, and since then you've decided to have a family and, you know, really entrenched yourself in the community. Was it scary at all? I mean, it had to have been a little scary.
Honestly, no, it
Good
wasn't.
Good for you. I think I had a little bit of trepidation when, you know, I've always had that kind of entrepreneurial spirit, and that's why Betsy and I decided to open this store here, in part because I think I didn't want to work for anybody else. I enjoy working for me, that's for sure. But you, obviously a lot younger at that point, 20 years old, you know, where did you lean on the parents for advice on how to get this thing going? Or?
Oh, definitely, yeah. They were really helpful in the beginning. And I mean, honestly, it wasn't my dream or my vision to do this. So I was kind of along for the ride, and when we moved here, I had several jobs, and I helped Kyle at the store when I could. But then as it turns out, I really loved it. And as time went on, I spent more and more time there and got more involved and started buying all the merchandise. And then over time, it just kind of evolved into Kyle was going to step out and I was going to step in, because things switched. You know, he decided it was time to move on, and I decided that the store was where I was supposed to be.
I think that was a smart move.
Yes.
Not the switch. That's not what I'm getting at. What I mean is keeping the store.
Oh, definitely.
Keeping the store running. I'm glad that you fell in love with it and that you're keeping it going, because it's evolved over the years. I mean, I remember when the Outpost opened. I mean, I was a young man myself. I had just come out of the Air Force, and it was kind of a radical thing for Manistee. I mean, I think so. I mean, growing up here, there's never anything really like the Outpost in Manistee. You guys were young. You brought a lot of, energy to downtown. But seeing things like bikes and kayaks and all that cool stuff down there, unlike anything I've ever seen, how was it received in the beginning?
It was great. Everybody was so welcoming. They were so happy to see somebody opening up something new, putting work into an old building. Yeah, everyone was super awesome, and they still are. We've got customers who have been with us since the beginning and who are loyal, and thank you guys for sticking with us for 19 years.
Wow, that's fantastic.
But yeah, you're right. The store has changed dramatically, and I think it will continue to change and evolve, because we're trying to stay current, and we're just trying to sell what works. So kayaks worked, and then kayaks didn't, so we had to sell something else. So we want to keep on top of it and stay fresh and fun.
That's the theme. And the few people that I've already spoken to downtown, that has been a reoccurring theme. The businesses that have stayed open the longest, like when I talked with Dan Bathrick at Snyder's, or when I talked to Jenny Carlson at Surroundings, the theme has been evolution. Okay, like, Snyder's has obviously been open for a very long time. Surroundings, about 20 years, 13 years under Jenny's parents. And they've evolved. I mean, they added cigars. Before it was just like a candle shop and stuff like that. And you guys have changed. Snyder's has cultivated a curated selection. You guys have got rid of the kayaks because that wasn't working, and you've added additional things like the coffee. And I think that's smart. I think, and that's what I kind of gleaned from everybody is, when I first opened this, I mean, my idea for the store was just craft beer, fine wine. I didn't want to do anything with liquor, but the only license that was available was a full liquor license. So I took on the liquor, and then I had a vision for the spirits, and then it was just going to be, a nicer selection, maybe a little more high end, but customers kind of dictate what you should carry. It's easy with beer and wine. I struggle with the liquor. We're getting there. We're growing in that aspect. But when I look at your business, 19 years in business, one of the questions that I ask to retailers in town here, where a lot of your product is readily available online. I get Patagonia sent to me almost every week. I get their magazine. Okay. Like I said, I've got the jacket. I buy shirts from you guys. I have this really awesome. Years ago, I went to. Well, when I bought the jacket, I also bought this little thermal shirt because I was going to Green Bay, Wisconsin to watch the Packers play, and I still have that shirt. I mean, the stuff is quality. Everything I buy, the gloves I buy from you guys. I mean, everything. I guess I'm going on a little bit of a rant here. I'm trying to figure out where I was going with this. With the online, with the ability for people to purchase online, how are you differentiating yourself from that? I mean, because I don't think, like for me as a shopper, I can't stand by it. I like to try this stuff on. I like to touch the fabric. I like to see if I like it.
Sure. And that's definitely what we're hoping people want to do. Every year, I think the online shopping gets bigger and bigger. But you can't ever replace the customer service of the owner or the employee knowing about the product, answering your questions, getting the right fit, and not having to send it back or ship it back. That's something you can't get online.
Right.
So there's something to be said for customer service, and you know, and we're there to help if there's a problem with the product. You know, we carry brands like Patagonia and North Face who stand behind their product,
Right.
and we'll take care of it for you. And that's something that also, if you buy it online, you know, it's kind of a hassle.
Yeah, it is kind of a hassle.
Yeah.
Stop buying online. Where do you see your business going in the next 10 years? I mean, do you see any other evolution, you know, with respect to things that are happening downtown? You know, the city's growing. We have the brewery in town here now. Looks like there's some things happening at Ironworks. Where do you see a progression for you in the next 5 to 10 years?
Like you mentioned, we have the coffee shop. That's been really fun. It's definitely growing. If you didn't know, we have coffee. Stop in, try it out. I think that's someplace that we're probably going to grow. It's just really fun to come in and have coffee and look around. It just creates a really nice atmosphere to just kind of relax and not feel rushed, and be able to look at the product. So I think that's something that we may look at offering more types of coffee, or possibly food. Everyone's always asking for more food in downtown Manistee.
Which is crazy. But I get it. I get asked for food every day now.
Yeah. So that's maybe someplace that will go. We don't really have much room to expand, but I think that the clothing part of it's still going to be our main focus. But you never know. We're always going to shows, and we're looking around, and if something fun sparks our interest.
I've already got my Christmas list together. I haven't given it to Betsy yet, but the majority of it's coming from the OutPost, so hopefully we get hooked up with that.
Yeah.
I do, at least. I really enjoy your coffee down there. I mean, I try to hit all the coffee spots, kind of spread the wealth a little bit, because it's just what I'm trying to do. That's what this is for. I mean, I'm trying to promote Manistee, and one of the things I think that I'd like you to touch on a little bit is, you know, that you volunteer a lot. You know, there's a lot of things that you do that I think a lot of people don't know that you do. Like Hops and Props was a big event for you. You put a lot of time into that, and this is kind of like an unsung hero. You know, like as soon as I can find some time, you know, those are the things that I want to do. I want to get involved. I want to be a part of some of these committees. You know, I want to put that time in, because I know how hard it is. I mean, I work those events as a vendor, but I don't get to see all the work that goes in the back end. You know, I just kind of showed up and I was the guy with the beer. You know, but maybe speak to that a little bit. Like, you put your time, after you put your time in at work, into events and volunteering in Manistee. And I think that's really important to talk about.
Yeah, I think for me, it's my way of giving back to everyone who's been loyal to Kyle and I at the OutPost for 20 years. It's kind of my way of saying thank you for supporting us. So I help out with these events because I know people in town love to go to them, and they have a good time, and it feels very community. So yeah, Hops and Props. My husband and I were part of the original planning for that 7 years ago, and still sticking around, helping out with that. And then the men's and ladies night is also,
which I love, by the way. Men's night is always awesome at the OutPost. You've got to go check that out. They have beer on draft.
And brats.
Yep, oh yeah, and brats.
So that's always a fun night. We just love hanging out with everybody who supported us, and ladies night has started a few years after men's night, and that just continues to grow every year and has become really fun. And you know, the other events are kind of changing and evolving, which is great too, because not everything, some things just kind of run dry after a while.
Right.
You need new fun ideas. Yeah, it takes a lot of time and a lot of volunteers, and thank you to everyone who volunteered at Hops and Props. Couldn't do it without you. You know, that event takes about 170 volunteers to run, and takes about a year to plan. But we had a great turnout this year, and had about 1,500 people there, and it was a really fun time.
And I hope it continues. I love that event. I wasn't able to go this year because I was here working, but
Right.
I'm trying to have fun. I think this was an awesome interview.
Thanks. Thanks for inviting me.
Well, you're welcome. We're not done yet.
Oh boy.
Yeah, we got the 5 random questions that I picked. So are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. Question number 1. If you had to flee the country, where would you go and why?
As in, I had to flee because I did something really
Sure,
naughty.
so you did something bad or you just need to...
Where would I go? Someplace tropical because I'm done with the winters here. So, I don't know, someplace warm.
A warm place. That makes sense. What do you want to be when you grow up?
I think I want to be a clothing store owner.
Good for you. I want to be a lumberjack. Yeah. I want to work on a farm.
Sounds nice.
Yeah. After I retire. What is your favorite 90s jam? Come on, we grew up in the same time frame.
I mean, Baby Got Back is kind of
That is fantastic.
first one that comes to mind.
Wow. That is a good one. If put in the situation, would you rather fight a horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses?
Say it again?
If put in the situation, would you rather fight a horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses?
I'm going to say a horse-sized duck.
Yeah, go after it. David and Goliath. What was your dream job when you were 10?
I thought that I was going to be an actress.
You probably would have been really good at that.
I don't think so at all.
You don't think so?
No,
No?
no. I was the owl in Charlotte's Web, and that is my one debut.
Charlotte's Web was a good play.
It is.
Well, those are our 5 questions. I hope you enjoyed episode 4 with Carrie from the OutPost. Cheers.
Cheers.